want to send a special shout out to Boogie Bentley, Dauber, and the Indie Kid over at the Talkin VAWLS Network on YouTube. I also want to ask y'all to go smash that like button and subscribe to their channel on YouTube. Go Big Orange.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and this is the day after the Indie Kid is still on vacation, so I have had a night to sleep on things, let it process just a little bit. You know, the post-game shows, they are always so full of emotion and passion, and I honestly think that that's part of what makes them fun. It's what makes this channel click. You know, we're all fans, and it's good to jump on the live streams after a game and just let it all out. Either we celebrate together or we vent together. Last year, it was called Talkin VAWLS Therapy, but Tennessee falls to #1 Georgia, 41-17. We're going to kind of talk about it, but before we get rolling, as always, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It helps the channel, helps the analytics, all that good stuff. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not trying to pretend to be something we're not. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are fans just like you guys. So if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy the channel, make sure you do go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live and when we drop new content. But let's get into it. Again, Tennessee falls 41-17. I thought they came out good first quarter. Really pleased with the first quarter. I felt like it had, you know, just a good feel to it. Great first drive. Hendon Hooker unfortunately missed VAWLS Jones wide open second play of the game. Josh Heupel doing what he does, dialing up a play. But Hendon Hooker wasn't able to connect to VAWLS Jones. Kind of went into a little bit of panic mode, got a little nervous. You can't afford to miss those opportunities against a team like Georgia. But the Vols just continue to plug away. They put together a nice opening drive, 10 plays, 77 yards, 317, scored touchdown. And I thought they did a good job also early in the game getting Hendon Hooker involved in the run game. Quite a few designed runs. We knew it was going to be tough to run the football against Georgia. And if you look at the numbers here, I've got the stats up on the screen there. Tennessee did struggle to run the football, 55 rushing yards on the day. But again, started off good. Georgia answers right back. They go right down the field and score. And Tennessee was just kind of in the fight back and forth throughout that first quarter. They add a field goal, take the lead 10-7. Got about 1:38 left to play, but just the way things felt, the way the time of possession was playing out, I felt like the defense was getting an opportunity to rest and kind of keep you in the game as it went along. But wasn't the case. Georgia pulled away. You know, the big difference was that second quarter. Second quarter, Georgia outscores Tennessee 17-0. And I feel like there were two big turning points in that second quarter that kind of changed the momentum, not necessarily changed the outcome. I mean, I guess you could call it a turning point. But number one was Hendon Hooker and the interception. And I don't know what happened. Didn't look like any type of miscommunication or the wrong route. Just looked like Hendon Hooker sailed the ball. Looked like he overthrew, and it led to the interception. But also I felt like a big momentum swing or turning point late in the game. Even after the interception, Hendon Hooker kind of bounced back a little bit. He just had an off night. He had an off night. It is what it is. Call it what it is. He had a bad night. And he's the guy that we've leaned on all year long. He is a guy that got this football team going in the right direction. He is a guy that brought this fan base together, honestly, when you look at it. So many arguments about the quarterback position. Joe Milton, Harrison Bailey, Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker won over this fan base. He had an off night. It is what it is. But Tennessee's still in the game. 7-point game right before the half. Georgia pinned on the 10-yard line. You're thinking Georgia's going to get the ball to start the second half. Tennessee really needs to stop here, but Georgia marches 90 yards, makes it a 2-score game. And the reason I feel like that was a turning point is because it felt like the Vols were in must-score mode from then on. Once they got down 2 touchdowns is when Josh Heupel really dialed it up, got aggressive, was not going to settle for field goals from that point on. You know, they went for it on fourth down several times throughout the game. couple of times in the red zone. I know some of you guys disagree with that mindset, but it just goes back to what I said last night on the live stream. Josh Heupel was coaching to win. Josh Heupel wasn't going out there to keep it close. Josh Heupel wasn't going out there to say we're closing the gap. I've seen people saying that, how, you know, we always talk about closing the gap against the big three. Josh Heupel wasn't out there to do that. Josh Heupel's not out there to close the gap. Josh Heupel was out there to win this football game, and that's why he got aggressive. But again, you have to give Georgia credit. You got to give Georgia credit. You know, we talked about this all week long, how good of a football team Georgia is. And yeah, I know as fans, sometimes we get caught up. The expectations change, the way this team has played, the way they've competed, the way they fought against Alabama. You know, that final score, that Alabama game, doesn't really tell the full story of that game. The way they competed against Ole Miss, going on the road, getting out of Lexington with the W last week. You start to buy in and believe, which is a good thing. But then you also start to maybe get a little delusional. And the expectation becomes beating the number one team. You start talking about how they haven't played anybody, and maybe their defense really isn't that good. We saw just how good this football team is and how good their defense is. So you have to give credit to Georgia. But again, going back to, you know, once they got a 2-touchdown lead, Josh Heupel dials it up, goes into aggressive mode. Tennessee was 3 for 5 in the red zone. And a lot of you, 24-10, third quarter, 4th and 4 in the red zone, Josh Heupel elects to go for it. And this was a discussion we had last night on the live stream. Some people agree, disagree. Dauber and I were kind of on different pages. Some people saying take the point. Some people saying go for it. I don't mind the aggression there. What I do mind, did not like the play call. Again, 4th and 4, down 2 touchdowns, third quarter, and they decide to roll Hendon Hooker out to the left. Fance covered in the flat. Wide receivers kind of jammed up. But what really I don't like the play call. I don't like the play call at all. But what really bothers me there is that Hendon Hooker throws the ball away. Similar to what Joe Milton did at the end of the Ole Miss game by running out of bounds. Just a mental error. You cannot do that. 4th down and 4, you've got to try to make a play. Then again, down 34-10 in the fourth quarter, Tennessee fails to convert on 4th down in the red zone. So 3 of 5 in the red zone. A lot of people saying, take the points, man. Kick the field goals. Make it a closer game. Final score 41-17. A couple of field goals don't make a difference, guys. And again, it goes back to what I said about Josh Heupel. He's coaching to win. He's not trying to keep it close. Jimmy's and Joe's. That's where we're at this point. Tennessee needs more horses. Very weak linebacker play, very weak safety play. They've got to recruit. They've got to get better. They still have a lot to play for. Maybe this is coming off a little negative. This is not negative. I am excited about this program. I'm excited about Josh Heupel. I'm excited about where this football team is at. They have overachieved this year. I'm not sitting here pretending they overachieved in the game against Georgia, but they have overachieved for the year. The experts picking 3 wins, picking 4 wins. Here Tennessee is with an opportunity to win 7 games, get to a bowl game, make it an 8-win season. That's a great start for Josh Heupel in year 1. Absolute beatdowns of teams like Missouri and South Carolina. That's the expectation. That's what Tennessee has to get back to. Took a top 15 Ole Miss team down to the wire. Again, the Alabama game, final score 52-24. That wasn't the feel of that game. Tennessee was in that game in the fourth quarter. Big time road win against Kentucky last week. This football team is heading in the right direction. They're going to be favored in these last 2 games. What's the mindset? Are they going to go out and compete? I don't think there's any way we can doubt them. If you see the heartbreak on these kids, I'm going to play a clip from the post game. They asked Matthew Butler about that mindset and questioning things moving into the last 2 weeks. Look at the hurt on these kids and look at the belief they have in their coach and in their team.
Any doubts in your mind about, the next couple of weeks, how this team's going to respond going down the stretch?
I don't doubt anybody on this team, on the staff, in the building. That's not a word that, no.
Matthew Butler was hurting last night. And again, it goes back to their belief. They believe in themselves. And like he said leading up to the game, the expectation is to go win. And I truly feel like every player in that locker room thought they could win and expected to win. The program's in good hands. Good hands. Josh Heupel, I think we finally have our coach. I really do believe we have our coach. So again, opportunity to finish out the season strong. Got to go out, got to take care of business. It's going to come down to recruiting and the transfer portal. That's what it's going to come down to if Josh Heupel is going to be successful. A lot of visitors at the game last night. The reports coming from Austin Price over at VAWLS this morning. Demario Tolan, 4-star outside linebacker, committed to LSU. You're going to see a lot of guys decommit from LSU, possibly Florida, different places all over the country. But Demario Tolan, good relationship, like the visit, positive visit. James Pierce, 3-star edge rusher out of North Carolina. And also Justin Williams, running back who is committed to West Virginia, but Tennessee just gave him an offer back in October. All three of those guys, positive visits. We'll see how those continue to play out. But again, just Tennessee has overachieved. They have overachieved. We have to be proud as a fan base of what they have done. We'll see how Josh Heupel finish out strong, get a bowl game, and hit the recruiting trail and the transfer portal hard. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. We appreciate all the support you guys gave. Thanks for hanging out with me and Dauber last night in the post-game show. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. And like I said, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I know a lot of people were frustrated last night with the loss, but you got to open your eyes, look at it realistically, meet this team where they're at. If I told you they would have a chance to win 7 games and go bowling back in the summer, would you have taken it? Leave me a comment. Let me know. That's going to wrap it up for this one. More content coming your way throughout the week. Dauber and the Indie Kid will be covering basketball. So again, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following us on social media so you know when they go live to cover the basketball team. But that is going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.